Terry Foy inside Lacrosse here with North Carolina assistant Brian Holman after a national champion. And this was a long time coming. You have some perspective on how it came together. So to start, how do you trace the trajectory to get to this point?
It's just been a long ride. I mean, we Joe and I came, he asked me to come with him 8 years ago. And you know, it just, our goal, his goal was to bring Carolina back. And when we got there, it was, you know, a little bit, I don't want to say messier, but it was just a lot of work. And we just kept trying and knocking on the door and recruiting good kids. And we had to change the culture and we had to just change the mindset. And, you know, a lot of people were questioning us, you know, why couldn't they get over the hump? Why couldn't they win that game? And there's just so many things that go into it. And you get players, you talked about Marcus earlier, that really gave their heart and soul. And these guys were freshmen when they lost to Denver in the quarterfinals. And, you know, they didn't forget that leadership and that piece of it. These seniors took a hold of some of that and carried it forward, and that's what we were waiting for, is just to keep building towards a greater good. And this run was a culmination of so many things. You know, Joe, Michael, and then we continue to move forward, and they turned into a team. And I said it before, a team is the ultimate weapon in any game, and these guys became that team. So it's just been a lot. It's been a lot.
I'm a believer that sometimes big moments are required to change long-standing history, and it felt like maybe that visit to Columbus for the quarterfinals was a pivot moment.
Yeah.
So how has it felt over the last 2 weeks?
It's felt like that. I mean, the guys believed. We went into that game. We went out to Milwaukee. They were excited about that. We were nervous about getting into the tournament. They were relieved when we did it, and it sort of gave us that breath of fresh air. And then we were underdogs. You know, we very rarely have been underdogs the last few years, and pressure's a funny thing. You know, it comes at you in different ways. And these kids are 18 to 21 years old, and it's hard to get them all to understand what the mission is. These guys understood completely. It was just all about one game, one play, one thing at a time, and they it's not buying into it. They believed it, you know, and it's nothing we haven't preached since we've been here, but maybe that's taken 8 years to do this, you know. So,
and with Sydney involved in the women's program, you give a little bit of perspective on a double national championship. What's that kind of feel like for the Holman family?
I mean, she's been through so much, Terry. I mean, 2 knee operations, and you know what? I told her before we left for this, she was my hero because she hasn't flinched. She's with her teammates. She's rooting them on as hard as she possibly can. She's had unbelievable teammates, an unbelievable team. So to see that last night and then come out here today and experience this and the way this game was, I mean, this had to be one of the greatest games ever. And the emotions and the swings, and I mean,
you said it all. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.